Hello, I'm Edna Pasher, and this is my husband and partner Yossi Pasher, and we are very happy and excited to join you in the Social Innovation Brokers Conference in Krakow. We talk to you from Tel Aviv, but we will be available to answer your questions online during the conference or after the conference. We will be available to support you succeed in your mission to help others succeed as social innovators. Personally, I consider myself both a social innovator and a social innovator broker. And let me explain. I am an entrepreneur and I love to start projects that help change the world, especially my own environment if possible. Sometimes as a management consultant within organizations, sometimes in cities. It is a great mission to have an impact on the world we live in. Now, I believe that innovation happens in cities. Cities are the best hub for innovation. In cities, people meet each other in the park, in the school, in the church, or in the synagogue. And serendipity is one of the key success factors for innovation. They meet, they invent all kinds of ideas to solve problems which they face. So I have been doing innovation in organizations and in cities, helping entrepreneurs manage innovation and succeed in their projects for many years. But in 2015, I decided to start a new organization, an NGO, which is called the Israel Smart Cities Institute, in which I invited my friends who are experts in all kinds of aspects of the needs in cities. Some come from technology, some come from construction, some come from education, like myself, and we created the Israel Smart Cities Institute, which helps municipalities and technology providers and entrepreneurs with startups innovate successfully. So ISKI is really a good example of social innovation brokers. One of them is my own husband and partner in our consulting company, Yossi Pasher, and I invited him to join because his expertise is in adult education and in training adults, especially in training trainers. And it is very important for you in this conference, as we understood when we prepared this conversation for you, to help you become good mentors and good trainers of entrepreneurs who would like to make social innovation successful, to solve all kinds of social challenges and problems. So now I will ask Yossi to tell us a little about yourself, and then I will ask you a few questions so that you can give some tips to the participant of the conference.
Well, I'm a trainer for many, many years. Actually, I grew up as a teacher, and then I became a trainer of trainers for adults. And for, I would say, the last 20 years, I train trainers in organizations, and municipalities, to really develop other trainers so they could enlarge the involvement of people in the doings of the city, whatever it is. So
Okay,
this is in essence what I'm doing relating to this subject.
So I decide that we focus on a specific project in which you trained on a regular basis, once a month, a group of 25 leaders of communities of practice in one of the leading corporates in Israel, called Elbit Technologies, in which they were looking to support entrepreneurs in the corporate to make more innovation, to identify them and to support them. And Yossi was meeting with the leaders of these learning communities, which we call communities of practice, on a regular basis, so that they could become leaders and mentors of the others. So tell us a little bit, or tell our audience, the participants, what did this Training the Trainers program, Mentoring the Mentors program, what topics did this include?
Well, first of all, we focused on lay leadership, which, as in my opinion, was the most important skill that had to be learned. And as I think that leadership is the ability of one person to influence others and to follow her or his lead, which is very, very important in communities of practice. Now, it's very interesting that anybody can be a leader, because leaders are not born, and or some are born and some are made, some are trained to be leaders. And I say that most of the city dwellers, the laity, are potential leaders who can develop and can be developed as leaders contributing to the good of the people, the welfare of the local communities, which is very, very important, because I think that lay leaders, from my experience at least, are self-appointed and they are volunteers. It's on basis of volunteering with passion, a lot of passion, so they want to contribute for the common good. And without passion, it won't work. So this was the basic of the training, how to really establish the passion and spread it among the community.
If I may, could you give some examples of more skills that you focused on in your monthly training programs with the leaders of the learning communities? What are the skills that you taught them?
One of the most important skills is how to listen, listening skills. And this is something that is not so common. People, they are not listening, and they are thinking what they are going to say before and after they listen. So listening skill, effective listening, is very important.
If I may, I would like to add something for our audience, that in order to succeed in social innovation, you first of all have to find a need. As I told you, I found a need to help municipalities make their cities smarter. So when Yossi says that you have to listen, that means that in order to know what type of projects to support and to create and to mentor people, you need to listen to what are the problems, what are the pains, what are the needs. So this is one aspect.
This is first and foremost. And
what else?
And then I teach them how to ask questions. Asking questions is also a skill. And when they know how to ask the right questions, they can relate to the problems that really bother the community.
So I would like to add something here too. Nowadays, with the chat GPT, all of a sudden we find that it is so important to ask good questions, even when you use artificial intelligence. If you want to do good prompting and get good answers, you have to ask good questions, because this way you train the learning machine to give you good support. Another skill, please.
Problem solving, how to solve problems. And this is also a skill that you have to learn it. It's not simple. And after that, we teach them the use of modern technology, as you mentioned, the chat, yeah? So it's also very important, because people, they know how to use the internet, but using the technology is most important.
So I would like to add something to problem solving. We start social innovation and innovation. We start it always with a need, with a pain, with a problem that needs to be solved. Now, what is the best way to solve a problem fast? Because we live in a very speedy world and we need to solve problems fast. Here we come to a very important key success factor in social innovation, which is collaboration. You can see that ISKI, my own organization, the one that I founded, I started it right away with a group of friends who collaborate in order to become a one-stop shop for any pain in the cities that people are looking for support. So this was my addition to problem solving. Now let's go back to training the trainers. Another skill, please.
Effective presentation. How do you present your ideas effectively so you can get out of it the effective outcomes? And then we have also effective negotiations, which is most important. You know, you have to negotiate budgets, and you have to negotiate all kinds of programs, etc., etc. And then
before you move on, and I would like to add here that when you collaborate with others, you have to negotiate a business model. Business models are not only needed in a business environment. NGOs need to have good business models to collaborate with everybody, all stakeholders, in order to be successful. For example, in ISKI, we definitely collaborate with municipalities in order to identify what they need and then support them in developing the programs to give answers to the needs. But in addition, we collaborate with other NGOs. For example, ECWT, European Center for Women in Technology, which is the partner in this conference, and Eva Fabri, the founder of this NGO, of the ECWT, has been my friend for many years, actually since she founded this organization. So, when you collaborate, you have to negotiate. You have to be able to create win-win solutions. So, negotiation skills are very important, and Yossi focuses on them as well in his Training the Trainers programs. Another skill, please?
I would say that first and foremost, the skill of relating to the environmental complexity, which is, in my opinion at least, I hope you agree with me,
yes,
is the most important skill.
I absolutely agree. We live in a complex world, and the ability to succeed in a complex environment, the ability to engage all stakeholders with different needs, the ability to create
with different views.
Sure. The ability to create a consensus, the ability to manage conflict, collaboration is all about that. So, if I would like to summarize, I would like to ask Yossi for some tips to adapt when you become a mentor of others, when you become a mentor of social innovators, when you become a trainer of other trainers who train and who become mentors of social innovators. What would be, let's say, 3 tips that you can give them?
I can't think about 3, but I think the most important tip is be available for questions and mentoring on ongoing situations.
And I would like to add, make sure that you create a very positive environment where passion is growing and not where passion is getting smaller. People volunteer because they are passionate about a problem that they want to solve. As mentors of these innovators, it is very important to help them succeed and to be able to grow their passion. I believe that together we always succeed. Thank you for listening, and we are now available to answer your questions.